Hello and welcome to another TV licensing video on doing stuff and filming it. Now, bit of a shorter one today, at least it should be shorter unless I get sidetracked. If I'm honest, anything could happen. Now, a while back, I had a comment made on one of my videos. I think it was 3 or 4 TV licensing videos ago, so I don't know, probably 3-4 months back. A viewer had said that they received a letter from TV licensing, and it was made up to look like one of those sorry you weren't in cards that you get from Royal Mail. You know, when you have a parcel or a letter due to be delivered and they need a signature, they put a little red card through your door. To my knowledge, they don't really do that so much anymore. They abandoned most of the signature thing when COVID came along, so they didn't want people interacting, so they just put it through your door and take a picture of it nowadays. Anyway, at least that's what they normally do with it. Anyway, getting sidetracked. Saying he'd received a letter from TV licensing made to look like one of those cards, about the same size and shape. Now, I asked him to send it in if he still had it. Said he tried, but for whatever reason the email address on my channel wasn't working. I don't really know what went wrong. But yeah, he gave up sending it to me and never got it. I finally found a picture of this particular letter on the internet. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have a look through that now. I've managed to get some reasonably high resolution pictures of it. Can't remember where I got them from. It's been sort of been sitting in my to-do list as this particular video for a while now, and I've finally gotten time to do it by taking a week off work. So, let's go and have a look at it, and, just do what we normally do with them. Right, so start off. This is, obviously the person has scribbled out their name, address, and looks like the QR codes that come with it as well. Fair play. I notice up here that they have scribbled out the postcode for the return address, the Darlington one. I mean, we all know it, but, yeah, okay, fine. So this is what it looks like, and you can tell, I'll zoom it in a touch, so it's... There we go. And you can see what they're going for. It does look a lot like one of those little cards. I'll try and put one alongside as I'm doing this in the edit. But yeah, one of those little cards, you've missed a parcel or whatever, you know, that sort of thing. But it's not when you look closer. For one of those, the little cards it put through are just little bits of card. This is obviously that sort of glossy, cheap paper that they use for, you know, takeaway menus and other nonsense. But they've put delivered by Royal Mail. Now, obviously, all the crap that we get from TV licensing is delivered by Royal Mail. But I bet they were quite happy to be able to put that little logo on there, weren't they? You know, to make people think it was from Royal Mail, which obviously is the whole point. Not much else to see on this. I've started here because I assumed that the address would be on the front. Although interestingly, as I look down here, it looks like it opens on that edge there. And this would be, if it were a book, that will be the spine. So maybe this is actually the back of it. But, you know, whatever, don't matter. Let's look at the other side. Right, here we go. So this is the front of it then. Because, yeah, it looks like it opens... From this side, this will be the spine of the little leaflet. Not in question mark. Card delivered by hand. Well, I suppose, yeah, by hand by your postman, but not by not by TV licensing, that's for sure. Action required. Read information inside. There's a phone number, and then they've just ticked all 3 of these boxes. Urgent response required. No, it's not. Telephone lines are open on those times. Website available 24 hours. Additional notes, please contact us ASAP. And they've put it in this font that's meant to look like the person's written it. You know, it's been handwritten, this little note, but obviously it hasn't. Yeah, just hasn't. But yeah, again, made to look exactly like one of those, you know, not in cards. This bit here where someone's written 36 on, no idea why that's there. I don't think that's anything to do with the leaflet. I think that's something that Royal Mail have written on there. Maybe something to do with the sorting process, or something the postie does to, I don't know, help order them before he delivers them. We don't obviously know the actual address of the person who's been sent to. Maybe they live at number 36. Who knows? Yeah, just imagine you get home from work, say you've got a pile of post on it, and you see this in there. bright red little card type affair, you can think, oh, have I had a parcel? And you're going to open it. Immediately think, oh, have I missed a parcel? Have I missed something important? Not expecting any parcels. Maybe it's something. Maybe it's a signed for letter. What if it's something important? What if it's something bad? What if I've got a speeding ticket or something like that? I mean, none of those things are true. At least to my knowledge, speeding tickets aren't sent, recorded or signed for delivery. They use the cheapest possible. It's a money-making exercise by the government most of the time. So, of course, it's done as cheaply as possible. But yeah, you open that and you're going to be confronted with this nonsense. So yeah, TV licensing. Let's have a good dig into this. Make this one bigger again. Here we go. So, our officers visit an address every 6 seconds. They love that little statistic, don't they, with a qualifying mark. Based on average annual visits made between 2016 and 2018 and available working hours in a week, which presumably is similar to those hours there. So, and it's worth noting as well, every 6 seconds, this is dated here, February of 2020. So this was just before the coronavirus lockdown. There's another one mentioned here, 18th of March 2020, so we can assume mid to late February this was sent out. So I'm trying to think back to when that was happening. We'd all heard of coronavirus by then. It had gone from this mysterious disease over in China somewhere, was sweeping across the globe. I believe it was in Europe, and we were starting to see like the first 1 or 2 cases in Britain around that time. I may have got my timing slightly off there, but that's about when this was starting. So that statistic isn't going to hold true for very long. Whether or not anyone at TV licensing knew that yet, I don't think anyone in February really thought that what happened in March was really going to happen. At least not at the beginning of February. But anyway, off topic. So, dear legal occupier. So they clearly don't know who they're sending this to. Or maybe they do, but these are just printed in bulk and then have an address stuck on the back. But yeah, dear legal occupier. As there is no record of a license at this address, your home has been authorized for a visit by our TV license enforcement officers. They could drop by at any time, daytime or evening, weekdays or weekends. We've actually just seen that in the last letter that I did. They could drop by at any time, so be on edge because they're coming for you. They love to put that in. Don't risk a fine of up to £1,000. Yeah, they like to put that in as well. Of course, they're never going to mention what most of the fines generally are, which is about, under £100, normally a lot less. You are breaking the law if you watch or record live TV programs on any channel or download or watch BBC programs on iPlayer on any device without being covered by a TV licence. This could result in a fine of up to £1,000 plus any legal costs and or compensation you may be ordered to pay. That's their usual gumph. Of course, it's not that old, this letter. iPlayer was obviously a thing, had been for quite some time, as had the law requiring to have a licence if you used iPlayer. Yeah, that's the usual thing. Yeah, if we don't hear from you, they love doing this as well. If we don't hear from you by the 18th of March 2020, we will escalate our investigation. Yeah. Yeah, they love putting dates on things, and they like to put you under some sort of time pressure. I can't remember the sort of time frames they normally give you, but yeah, my gut is it's normally a few weeks, so this was probably late February 2020 this came out. Something's been scribbled out down here, don't know what, probably a reference number of some sort. How to stop this visit at, and that'll be the address presumably. Buy a TV licensing at tvlicensing/pay, or call the number. Payments start from £6 a week. Yeah, again, £6 a week has been discussed time and time again. It's not as much. They have a weird way of making you pay for things 6 months in advance. It's not adding up to, yeah, I've already said that enough times before. Or move an existing license, yeah, or tell us that you don't need one, which, yeah, okay. If you do not do any of the above, you can expect a visit soon. That's quite sinister, isn't it? If you don't do as we tell you, you can expect us to come round. It's what I think to that. Yeah, again, that is quite threatening. It's how when people, in these action films and horror films, this is I'll see you soon, Dave. That sort of thing. Yeah, it's just not on. So yeah, yours faithfully, the non-existent Scott Robson, Regional Enforcement Officer. Interestingly, it doesn't give the actual region anymore on here. You know, normally it says for me Cambridge Regional Enforcement Officer or Birmingham Enforcement Officer and blah blah blah. Yeah, you know, wherever it is that they're sending it to. It's possible that these are just printed in bulk with minimal changes to send them out cheaply. Obviously, this up here is the person's address. I imagine that is probably as well. You got all these lines down here and under here. These are probably reference numbers. So. And then you've got this fake stamp on it as well. Enforcement visit, February 2020, approved. Yeah. See, the sort of... This is obviously pre-printed, and they're trying to make it look like a card, and then they put these fake stamps on the inside, which just undermines their... Well, they never really had any authenticity, but never mind. Buy a TV license or tell us you don't need one. Visit tvlicensing.co.uk today. Yeah, it's their usual wording. They obviously don't bother wording anything that differently in these little letters. This first bit here in red, obviously the black pen marks are nothing to do with it. This first headline here in red, that's following on from them trying to make it look like they've been and you weren't in. Again, trying to ramp up the panic. So yeah, they've started with that, but then this bit, I'm fairly sure we saw that. It may have been worded slightly differently in the letter that in my last letter, letter number 9, and in most of the previous letters. That is the same again, yeah, statement of the law, yeah, the sale on any device without being covered by a TV license. Obviously missing out battery-powered devices, but yeah, whatever, you know, that bit's usual. Putting a date on it to try and, you know, put you under time pressure, you know, force you to make a snap decision, and hopefully the wrong one that involves sending them money. Yeah, that's fairly standard for them. How to stop this visit at your address, and then yeah, that bit there is we've seen on pretty much every letter as well. And we've got the fake stamp and the non-existent Scott Robson. So yeah, it's all just standard stuff, but that's not what we're here to look at. The bit we were looking at was mainly this bit, trying to pass it off as something, you know, either the person's going to think that yeah, they've had a you know, they've missed a delivery by Royal Mail, you know, a parcel that they were waiting for, or an important letter that they need to get their hands on. So they open it up and they're confronted with nonsense from TV licensing. But of course, by then it's already opened that can of worms, the vulnerability can, you could say. They're already maybe in just a, I won't say a panic, but they're like, oh God, what have I missed? I'm not expecting anything. Must be important. Let's go open it, have a look, you know. And then it's like, oh my God, it's TV licensing. Or they're trying to leave the impression that their officers have been, but you weren't in. So it's like, oh no, oh they've been, oh man, they'll probably come back then. So they are actually making visits. The visits are real. Yeah, again, don't be fooled by it. It's just the same bollocks that we always get from this organisation. It's interesting though that I've not had one, which is a bit disappointing. I've never seen these before in the flesh. Let's say this is the first time I've been able to find pictures of one of them. Yeah, I feel a bit disappointed. Be nice if I could get one of these for real. Well, the bit that's funny though is they've sent this out February 2020. Coronavirus really stole their thunder here. They said, oh, you know, if we don't hear from you, the boys are coming around on the 18th of March. I'm 99% certain we were in lockdown by then, so there were no visits. So that just fucking killed that right off. All they could do then was send stupid letters to people. So yeah, yeah, I do like that. That's one positive to the pandemic. There aren't many, but this is one of them. Yeah, so that's that's just the little leaflets that they, well, at least they used to be sending them out as late as February, March of 2020. Like I say, I've never had one of those through the post. I've had plenty of letters from them. Not all of them I've made videos of as well. I've had about 30 through the door before I decided to start making videos about them. But I've never had one of those. Yeah. Even when I was in student accommodation, I used to get those letters no end. I didn't even have a television at the time. But yeah, I never saw one like that. So yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm glad I found a picture of it. yeah, I'd love to do the whole Wheel of Destruction with it, but obviously I can't. I'm not going to do the Wheel of Destruction on my laptop. Are you insane? You're going to buy me a new one? I can't even rip it up because, yeah, it's just on my screen. So, yeah, what was a fly landing on me? Bloody hell. Fucking hell. Ruining my video, fly. So, yeah, it's unclear at this point whether or not they're still sending those out, still using them, or if they're just doing their usual circulation of letters. I seem to have come full circle with my letters. The last one I did, I've had before, almost word for word. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I will get one. Or maybe they've knocked it off because they're not doing nearly as many visits as they used to. Let's be honest, at the time of recording this, and probably at the time of release as well, things still aren't back to how they were before the pandemic. And yeah, in some cases that's good, in some cases that's bad. So, in the case of TV licensing, yeah, they're not sending me any interesting... Oh, bugger off, fly. They're not sending me any interesting stuff to make content about. Never mind. So, alright, but yeah, if you do get one though, treat it the same as you do every other TV licensing letter. Rip it up, throw it in the bin. Or make a Wheel of Destruction. That's always fun as well. Last one got killed by fire because the dogs wouldn't eat it. Yeah, so I've got death by motorbike and all sorts lined up for my next load of letters. So, yeah, watch this space. Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Thank you for watching this video on doing stuff and filming it. Please don't forget to press the big button here in the middle to subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you liked what you just saw, please click the like button below and leave a comment letting me know what you liked about it. And as always, thank you for watching.